Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Jimmy Talks. I hope you're all doing all right. I'm pretty much dead. Today, I'm joined by a friend of mine who goes by Josh is alright on Instagram, and I'll be putting a link to his page down below. Say hello, Josh.
So,
And also here with me today for the second time on the show, making the first reappearing guest is SpiralSoldier, aka Eli, and I will be linking his Instagram and YouTube down below as well. So be sure to check his channel out as well after this video. So say hello, Eli.
What's up, guys? As he said, I'm SpiralSoldier on YouTube, on the YouTubes. Check me
That
out.
sounds so sarcastic. Like, that's me. It's fine. But that hurt me. um, anyway,
About as much as my intro did.
I figured we'd drift away from some of the usual topics. I know in the last two episodes I kind of strayed into, talking about Marvel and DC, and different topics were discussed in between, but just kind of general topic. I just don't want to fall back into that. So we have a few topics, or at least one big ass topic to discuss specifically that I think you guys will enjoy. However, be warned, there are spoilers in store if you continue to watch this. So I'm not entirely sure what every movie or TV show, if that, whatever we end up talking about. Just if at any point you think you're about to be spoiled, just stop. Just stop. Unless you don't care, it's up to you. Yeah.
If you care to see the movie we're talking about,
Yeah.
don't.
When we talk about a very specific movie first, and that movie's name is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. So let me look up. I believe this is his 9th film, right?
He's done a lot more than that, my dude.
his ninth main film.
Yeah, his 9th main film.
I mean, we're talking about this because all three of us went and saw that yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yes, it was.
Oh, yeah, it was yesterday. We did watch it yesterday.
Technically 2 days ago.
Whatever. Basically, within the last, 2 to 3 days max, because we're bad with time, we watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that is an awesome movie in my opinion.
I mean, I thought it was good. Me personally,
One of
thought
my
it was
favorites,
good as well.
concerning Tarantino, obviously. Because,
I mean, Tarantino-wise, he has other movies I would consider a lot better. Now, I think Josh has a different opinion.
My favorite Tarantino film is Pulp Fiction. It's a good one.
See, it's between Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction for me.
Kill Bill is also a good one. I liked watching both of those movies. But Pulp Fiction just takes the cake for me, just because I like John Travolta.
I mean, Uma Thurman.
Yeah. She's a great actress, though. So that's not a problem. But basically, again, if you're worried about spoilers, now's the time to head out. I may or may not have timestamps below, so feel free to check that out first if you want to try and skip any spoilers, but you still want to listen to the podcast itself. So basically, oh no. Oh, look at this real quick before we get right into it. Announced in July 2017, it became the first Tarantino film not to be associated with producer Harvey Weinstein, after Tarantino cut ties following sexual abuse allegations against Weinstein that October. Well, it happens.
I feel like we say that a lot for this movie industry lately.
Before we get into scenes and stuff, my biggest takeaway from this movie: Quentin Tarantino has a fat foot fetish.
Oh my god.
I've never seen so many feet made to be prominent in a shot before. So much. It's
it's not noticeable, but it's noticeable.
It's supposed to be discreet, but
He's very
I don't.
noticeable.
I don't think it was.
Strange fact, man. Quentin Tarantino has a fucking foot fetish.
And
I think that's supposed
none
to.
of these feet were necessarily clean.
I mean, but here's also part of it. I think that's supposed to highlight that look, they're hippies. They don't wear shoes. They're
See,
You can
hippies.
that's-
physically tell they're
Yeah,
heavy.
see, I would agree with you if she would, if, for
Didn't
example, that
something
main
close up
chick
on 'em.
doesn't
Would
wear
finish.
shoes, if she didn't wear shoes in any of her shots, but she wears shoes in plenty of them. But no, in the car, she was just like, look at my fucking dirty, yellow, diseased feet.
They were just dirty. They weren't diseased or anything. They were just dirty.
They look pretty.
99% sure they were diseased.
Yeah, 99%. Like, they were pretty screwy. Like, let me look up. I'm pretty sure I can look up feet scenes.
Is that so? Here's my is the actor? Is that the actor from Reasons Why? That girl.
Oh yeah, let
She
me
looked
look up
familiar.
let me look up that. Look up the cast.
She looked familiar.
Yeah, she did look like Emily Hirsch, I think. No,
Generic
oh
Caucasian
shit, I'm stupid.
girl with black
Emily
hair.
is
I
email.
remember
I
her.
actually know who that is.
She literally looks like. Is she the one from?
I think I see her right here. Movies. Oh, she was in modeling. Leftovers, Nice Guys. 2018. Donnybrook. Oh. Okay, so no, she was not in.
13. She just looked familiar, but
she
then again,
does look
so does every
similar,
white
yeah.
girl.
Okay, pal. But again, foot fetish for sure. Definitely for no reason. Characters just didn't have shoes, including Margot Robbie, who I'm pretty sure like a lot of people with foot fetishes are super proud of. Like they bought.
As a foot connoisseur as myself.
They're like, I got Margot Robbie's feet. Are you kidding me? They illegally downloaded the movie just to splice out the specific
Dude,
scene
foot
in the
wiki.
theater. Yeah.
She's got a whole foot wiki around.
I'm gonna look that up now. Foot. Oh, actually, no. I don't know. I don't know how that's.
Huh, why is this
Careful now.
website that already been seen on my computer?
You do realize what that is, though, right, Chris?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it, boys. I'm not taking
You
that.
know what it
chance.
is? Do you know what that is? There's literally a whole wiki of just like
Dude,
celebrities
if it exists
stuff.
on the internet, there's probably shit like that going on with
Like
it.
it's literally just everyone's. It's just random.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Brad Pitt wasn't like aware that Quentin Tarantino had the fetish, he probably would have had some, feet scenes too. But he said no.
This dude had it. He was ripped though.
I don't know if he was ripped. Like he was definitely way
was
more fit
muscular.
than
He
we
was
are. He was
like-
muscular. He was
Strong
definitely
enough to kill a chick with a can.
That's true.
I mean, like straight football, throw it into her face.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked. I actually forgot about the can specifically being thrown. But
Dog food.
the movie's
Nice.
definitely like
Here's-
really low
Here's
key.
a clue what
You could
happened.
okay, so like most of it is just, events happening. Rick, who's played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is kind of just dealing with, feeling like he's a has-been now and that he's gonna fall into that same old, that niche and, be unsuccessful. And there's Cliff trying to struggle right along with him, somehow being like this super good stunt double, but living in a trailer.
I mean, it's not so that he's a super good stunt double. It's more so he's Rick's stunt double. That's like the big. He's more like
Yeah.
by the end of it, he's more like at least midway through, you're like, oh, he's like Rick's. He's more like
Rick's
his. Yeah, like
His crony or some shit.
His
Yeah,
homie.
His homie.
oh yeah, like friend. Yeah,
But-
especially when they go over to Italy. Like he goes with them. Like that's
Yeah. But again, it was actually pretty good. I mean, it was a movie that was definitely a lot more low key than I thought it was gonna be up until the end, where they were just like fuck it. And,
Tarantino wise, especially.
yeah, especially for a Tarantino movie, you know how he does with gore and violence and stuff. I just wasn't expecting it like in the slightest, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm happy to say. I liked watching that chick in the black like get like everything beat out of her, dude. Like holy fuck, she got like
Because
she got it.
you get through
worse
the
than
whole
everyone.
movie, and you get through the whole like oh the pigs. It's like this.
You
Far out,
cut
man.
out like for half of that.
Oh,
But
like
I can guess what you were talking about.
You get through the whole movie, and it gets to a point where they're in the car. It's
Yeah,
just
and
like
he's
far out, dude.
yeah, and Leonardo and Rick again.
Like, let's
He's
kill the
like
pigs. I'm like, what the heck? We're
he's like
literally we all visibly were like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like,
Like he's like he puts the dude. First, let me explain. About halfway through the movie, or maybe a little over halfway, Cliff, who's played by Brad Pitt, he takes one of the hippie girls home to a place called Salt something.
no, it was like Stan or
It was a
something.
ranch. It was a ranch.
Ranch. It
Salt
was a
Ranch.
movie ranch. It was a movie
I think it
ranch.
was Salt Ranch.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I think
basically,
it was
he
Saul.
takes him there and he recognizes the place. He's like, "Oh shoot, I used to work with a dude here. He lives
Well,
right
he's
freaking there."
suspicious.
Yeah, he well, more like he just notices it, and so like he becomes suspicious, like as it goes on. Like he asks, like, "Hey, does he still live here and stuff?" And like they're pretty dodgy about it. Like, "Oh, he's napping right now. You
What's his
can't
name
go
again?
see him."
George, my boy
My guy
George.
George is
George is fucking dead. But George actually isn't dead, which is
He's just
mega
blind.
unfortunate. But like it gets to the point where he finally gets to George's room, wakes up George, and George has like mega fucking Alzheimer's or some shit.
I think he's just blind. Literally, all it is
Yeah, but
he's
like
just
he's
blind.
it could also be that he's tired, but he's like really basically incoherent. And he's
Who
trying
are
to
you?
talk to him, and it becomes apparent that these hippies are really just squatting and they're taking advantage of the fact that there's nothing this old man can do.
He
About it.
knows they're there.
He,
Well,
he knows that some of them are there. For example, the girl.
He knows all
But
of them are there.
I don't know. I feel like he's really just being taken advantage of, and you can tell because suddenly when he leaves and after he's done
well,
talking to
because he's
him,
like, oh, she loves me. I
yeah,
mean,
like
because basically it's like, oh, he's gonna be kind of tired.
and
Fucked his brains out this morning.
I think like yeah, you're right. He probably knows they're there, and it's not even. And I wouldn't necessarily mean that he
I mean,
wants
he's
them there,
clearly not
but
using it as.
there's
He's
nothing he
clearly
can
not.
fucking do.
I mean, he's clearly not using it as a movie ranch anymore, though.
Yeah, well, and yeah, and they're just squatting, and you can tell that, or at least it's implied. I assume from what I saw, especially when he just leaves after talking to him. Doesn't even say anything aggressive, and then the chick's just like, "George isn't blind, you're blind," and then they start like going ham on him with the verbal
Because
abuse.
they got him or the chick got in trouble with the other one.
Exactly, which is stupid. Which is a
You
stupid ass
embarrassed
thing to.
me.
And then we have like autism beach bum with the tire. He slashes
That's
the tire, and
it's
that's the
like,
first taste of like real
well, no,
violence
the
we get
first
in it.
scene you see Cliff go off is the scene before he basically kicks the
He kissed the what?
crap out of Bruce Lee. That was straight Bruce Lee,
Yeah,
like in the
but
movie.
that wasn't fucking like getting his.
That was the first, yeah, but that was
That
the
was
first him
violence.
showing.
That was just showing that
Yeah, but like
Cliff
you
is
see
lethal.
you see he gets violent with the hippies when the dude slashes it, like stabs his tire or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's the first. What I mean, like the first taste we get some like real violence. Like he straight up like beats his face in for a minute.
He
He's
throws his
got-
dude into a car.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's not.
dents the car.
That was just shock and awe. But
And then you see that he shot his wife with a freaking harpoon.
we didn't see it, but like by the
You
end
know
of
what
it,
happened.
we didn't see it, but yeah, we know what happened. Like by the end of it, it's like this dude fucking shot his wife with a harpoon gun.
Not even by the end of it. Like you like
No, I'm saying
clearly
like by the end of it, there is no doubt. That before it was there was no doubt, but by the end, like 100%, this dude fucking.
Well, apparently he was a war hero or something because you hear like he's like, oh, why not? Why would I killed his wife supposedly and got away with it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, would you
I
turn
don't see
down
him
a
as a war hero.
He's like, yes. He's like, would you turn down a war hero? And then he's like, oh. So like, it would make sense that he was in the army at some point.
Maybe the Marines,
Yeah, probably the Marines.
Probably the Marines.
Something like that. But like, still.
But basically, we learned that Cliff is lethal. And the first actual like action-ish type of thing we get that's not movie set or anything like that is when Cliff fights, weird-looking Bruce Lee
Doesn't
and throws him into friendly contest. Nobody was getting hurt. So, like,
if he gets thrown into a
he
car.
gets thrown into the side of a car and dents the shit out of it. So that was like, oh fuck, nice. And then you see
Like,
him like straight up like blocking the shit out of Bruce
Bruce
Lee's
Lee,
punches. I tried to
which
combine
a
two
lot of
words.
people were saying that that's just really disrespectful to Bruce Lee.
No one gives a fuck. The dude proved his point.
No,
Like
but like
he
people are like
straight
that's
up just memed on him.
disrespectful.
He said, "Fuck it." He was like, you're big talk," and then he proved it by throwing him into the side of a fucking car.
Because he's sitting
Oh,
there, he's like,
that's
my
good there,
hands
Mr. Lee.
are lethal
Do that
weapons.
again.
He's like, my hands are lethal weapons. I'm like, shut up,
Oh
dog.
yeah, my hands are registered as lethal weapons. He's like, all hands are lethal weapons.
No, he's like, killing any man,
Yeah, is
accidentally killing any man is considered
exact. Yeah,
manslaughter.
it's called manslaughter. You go to jail. And that was funny. And I really thought like Cliff was gonna get his ass kicked until it switched to the shot of the car, and did you just see Bruce Lee like that actually was the first time I was like fucking nice. So we had the fight again, the contest. He gets caught, fighting Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee gets gets off scot-free being Bruce Lee, and Cliff,
It's like,
he
oh,
gets
he didn't
canned.
kick me. Yeah, he's like, he didn't kick my ass.
Yeah,
And then everyone's
nobody
like,
beat anyone or some shit like that, or nobody beat me, or specifically him protecting his ego. We get that. This movie was like really like just waiting for Cliff's part while watching Leo
well,
or
because
watching
Leo, you're
Rick
saying
deal with shit.
all he has is him breaking down. That's basically all you get out of like Leo
Yeah, and
slowly
trying to
falling
get his
apart.
career back. And then at the end, that was also funny. But then we get to like the next violent part, which is the really fucking violent part.
I
The
mean,
end.
we're skipping a lot.
We're
Let's
not
skip
going
Like,
in
ahead.
chronological order.
I know, but like,
okay, like
literally,
what was the next scene that you would classify as violent like that?
okay, if we're talking about violence, then yeah, you're right.
Okay, well then, what example were you trying to use that you thought we were skipping?
I was because there's literally talking about the fact that like some famous like director lives like right next door, and like for some reason they kept following for a while.
Oh
It's like,
yeah,
oh
they were
look,
just kind of following the family that lived next door that was also famous. They were more famous, presumably.
Polanski's.
Yeah, the Polanskis, and it just kind of follows them nonchalant. Like specifically Margaret Robbie's character. I don't remember her name, but she kind of just does stuff and puts her feet up in the theater for everyone to see.
Like the Playboy Mansion scene, and
Yeah, and stuff like that. And it doesn't even need to be there. It's just the Tarantino style. He just has information there for you to have, and it may or may not be super duper useful. But
like
you know
super
it,
stupid
and in
important.
some way, it makes sense to know it by the end of the movie. Because then it doesn't feel like at the end they just, oh look, rich neighbors. Hey, you wanna come on in with us?
Let's make a movie, dog.
It's like two different knots, tied together into one knot at the end. But one knot is significantly smaller than the other knot.
Yeah,
But
one
the
roll
smaller
like
knot has got like some fucked up shit going on.
I mean, the movie is undoubtedly more so following Leonardo DiCaprio's character and
Yeah, but his were definitely more just mental emotional type thing than Cliff's. Cliff's is just like you fucking fist.
Cliff is the violence of the movie.
Yeah, Cliff is literally the violence. Rick gets one real scene of shit going down for him, and it's right after the actual what the fuck scene.
It's at the end.
Yeah, it's at the end of the movie. It's like on the tail end of the scene we're about to talk about. So basically, those hippies that were like after Cliff beat up, that hippie dude, one of the other guys came up there to try and stop him. It was too late. The tire was replaced, and he drove off. And it's left at that until the end, when we see him and three of the hippie girls.
And Tex, which is the one like
Yeah,
one of the
Tex.
few named
That's his name.
characters.
Tex.
Only named character. Only like named hippie basically.
Yeah. So Tex and the three other hippie chicks, they go up there being loud, and then Rick comes out not knowing who they are, of course, getting pissed at them. And for a minute there, it looks like he's gonna get shot because Tex is kind of gripping the gun.
Was it Tex? I thought it was the girl.
It was Tex.
Oh, okay.
Tex is gripping the gun, and then he's just like, "Oh, we'll get out of here." And they back up, and they're like, "Oh my God, that was Rick." Blah blah. I keep wanting to say
That's
Rick
Rick Dalton.
Astley. I know
Rick
it's Rick
Dalton.
Dalton, but I keep wanting to say Rick Astley. That's Rick Dalton. Oh my god, I had him on my lunchbox. How about we just fucking kill everybody who taught us violence in fucking TV for no reason on a
Like,
tangent?
that makes no sense. I'm like, you're sitting here talking about peace.
They were literally high
Like,
as fuck. And the thing that makes you really think that they're screwed is they had just gotten back from Italy, and they're doing their thing, but they're drunk as shit. They'd gone out, they got super fucking
they go on a
drunk.
drunk because that's the end of the road for them. Like,
Exactly.
he's gonna
They're
retire.
like
Basically, he's gonna retire.
Cliff basically got fired. Rick was like, I can't afford to have you anymore.
So he gets a wife. He gets a hot,
Yeah, he
hot
gets a
Italian
wife,
wife.
and he has his house. And then Cliff's like, that's fine. Shit
Let's go on
happens.
a
It's
drunk
life.
though.
So yeah, let's go out. Let's go out drunk. So they're drunk as fuck. You know, Rick gets home with them, and then he starts making fucking margaritas. So he's gonna get even more intoxicated. And
He
then
sits in his pool, which is a common
he sits in his
thing for
pool.
him in the whole movie.
Yeah, he kind of like his downtime of him
Like twice.
getting ready for the next part of his thing is
Yeah, but it's clear
doing
he
that.
does. Like he mentioned that he does it basically every night.
I
But
mean, I guess.
and then Cliff, he smokes an acid dipped cigarette that he bought for 50 cents earlier in the movie.
A hippie
And
person.
yeah, from another hippie. But
Like in the end, the hippies were their own downfall.
yeah. But honestly, it wasn't like the acid thing was a big scene at the time. It's just kind of like, oh, I got this, this acid dip cigarette, and then it just went to the scene of him buying it just because, whatever,
To show that he had
just to
it.
show that he
Oh, I
had bought
remember
it and
that.
how he got it and shit. And then there's that, and then he smokes it. He takes his dog out for a walk, who's already like a super obedient ass dog with a lot of
Pit
fucking
bull. It's a
patience.
pit
Yeah,
bull.
it's a pit bull, and it's a cute ass pit bull. So basically, they get
It's cute.
back.
It's real cute, huh?
They get back, and then those four hippies are going up the hill, and the fourth one is like, "Oh, I think can I go get my knife real quick from the car? I left it. Oh, here's the
And then
keys to unlock
dips.
it." And this the smartest hippie ever. She takes it, she turns on the fucking car, and she drives
Drives.
out of there.
I assume she goes and gets the police.
No, there's gunshots and shit. Like somebody called the cops. If not Francesca in her room calling the cops, Francesca being the Italian wife. But basically, we have that. They go up there. They're like, "Okay, pig killers, let's go kill us some piggies."
I mean, fucking oink or they snort for some
Yeah.
reason.
I don't understand why.
But they're fucking high off their ass, dude. They're hippies, but they're more coherent
They
than.
seem scared. Like the dude seemed terrified. He's like, "Oh, we're about to go kill these guys," and
Because
he's just
he
like
the black the chick in the black sweater with the black hair, the Asian esque looking chick. She
crazy.
was the mastermind behind it. She was like, "Let's go kill him," and she was confident the whole time. She wanted to. Tex was just like,
All right, guys, so dig it.
"Yeah, dig it."
Do you
How about
dig?
yeah? She was like, "Let's dig it. Let's fucking kill everybody who taught us violence on TV." And they were like, "Oh wow, why didn't I think of that shit?" Tex is like the reluctant one that's like, "I don't know if I really want to do this," and the redhead is kind of just like, "We're here, we're gonna do this." She's not against it, but Tex is like,
But the other girl's like, "Oh, okay, I'll go along with it." Oh, I forgot my knife.
"Get the fuck out of there." Yeah, but no, Tex is definitely the only one that's like really questioning it. Not that
He
he's
didn't
not,
question it.
not that he's
He
not gonna
did.
go
He was
through.
like,
Wait, hold
he
on,
went through
hold
with it
on.
in the end because he's like, "No,
He
what?
went
We
through with
came
it
here to
'cause he's
do that.
there,
Let's
but he's
do what we
like,
came here to do."
but the whole time he's like really like fucking hesitant about shit, and he gets there and he's going to
No,
do it. Yes, for example, him like choosing not to fucking pull the gun on the dude. Then, like,
it wasn't.
if
He
there was
was hesitant because they were there to kill somebody else in the first place.
they didn't know he lived there because they didn't even know that it
Yeah,
was Rick until
but he
after they
wasn't
got back
hesitant
down.
about it.
He, yes, he was. That's why he was fucking gripping
No,
the
he
gun, and then
wasn't.
he was like, he just,
Dude, he was
he did, he
gripping the
made the
gun because
decision.
they thought they were gonna get found out for trying to kill, going to kill the person they were going to in the first
They
place.
didn't know he was up there
They did not.
because they
literally didn't.
recognize him when they go to kill Cliff. They recognize Cliff.
Like, is that one? Well, Cliff recognizes
They
them.
may have been looking. They may have been looking or some shit, or just trying to find a place to smoke out or
The
something.
place.
But they didn't know. At least
Like-
that's my understanding. But basically, they get there and they see Cliff and they're like, "Oh, it's you," blah blah blah.
There's that one dude.
And Cliff
Well,
is
then
like,
he's like,
"Yes, Cliff is super
you have
high
to.
off his ass," and he's like, "Oh shit, I know you
Like, I knew
guys.
you guys. You're from the ranch, right?
Yeah, where I
Alright,
beat that
what you
dude's
doing, man?
face in." And then
What?
there's the dog
What you
and
doing?
what's up?
You mean what I'm doing?
That isn't an encounter.
Come on, dog, please.
Whatever. But basically,
Please.
No.
Josh,
Please.
no, how about Eli? How about you just do it? Don't listen to him. It's your playthrough, not his.
Okay. Okay, well, follow the rules I set.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue, Chris.
But
I'm sorry.
basically, it's fine. Basically, this dog's like, "Are we doing this shit?" So Cliff just fucking, he's like, activate, like execute order 66, and it's just like this fucking dog just goes ham. He like he just runs straight for Tex and grabs him by the shooting arm, and he's like basically ripping this dude's arm, not off, but he's tearing at it. And the other girls are like in shock. They're like what the fuck? And then I don't know if he like completely rips him off, but the dog like straight goes for Texas fucking balls, and he's pulling on them shits hard. And what the fuck? What happens to the chick in the black first? Cause like
She gets the can thrown in her
Oh
face.
yeah. When Tex goes for, or when the dog goes for Tex, Cliff turns and he throws the fucking dog food can that he's holding straight at her fucking nose. And dude, like the level of fucking force behind it was insane because it just, and her nose is fucked on contact.
Oh yeah, like she starts screaming immediately.
Yeah, she's like most of the thing like involving her is just her fucking screaming.
Well, she immediately becomes Carrie. Like if you know that movie.
And that's
She's just
happening.
like,
Tex is getting screwed. The dog finally like, oh yeah, Cliff makes the dog sick, the chicken black, and then Cliff starts beating the shit out of Tex. Like he breaks his knee, like fucks his face up or some shit, and Tex is pretty much fucking done. Like that's it. And that's when the redhead chick, she comes out of her
I am the
trance.
devil.
I am the
Yeah.
devil, here to do the devil's business. Some shit like, yeah, and then the redhead chick comes out of her trance, and she lunges for Cliff, and she gets him. He's good and all. Like he's not armed, but he's experienced and stuff. But he gets tackled over the coffee table that's there, or whatever.
Because he's distracted.
Yeah,
he
he's
gets distracted.
and he gets stabbed like right in the hip, like a deep ass cut from the knife. Like just it's
The
stuck
knife
right
goes
in
in,
there.
dog.
It's stuck right in there, like almost to the hilt. Like there's a little bit of the blade still out, but and he's like, oh, nice or whatever. And then the redhead chick's like, oh, cool, I got him. And then being high on acid, he's like, I don't feel this shit.
Doesn't feel nothing. He doesn't feel nothing.
He does not give a fuck. So he grabs her by the hair and just like it just straight goes to the fucking telephone, and he goes on screen. He starts smashing her fucking face onto it. And then,
literally the whole time we're sitting there in the theater going, oh,
holy fucking shit.
Fuck?
Like losing our minds because it's like, what the hell? And it gets worse because then he takes her over to the poster on the wall with the glass casing. It's just like bam, bam.
And you just see the blood left over in the little
there's a shit ton of it,
spots.
and you can see her face getting fucked. And then he takes her over to the fucking chimney, or whatever it is.
The brick chimney.
Yeah, the brick chimney, and right along that corner from the top to right along that edge of the top, he just starts mashing her fucking head into it, and you can see her face denting into a corner and shit.
You know it's the 50s? You want to know why it's the 50s? But the cops weren't like, what the heck?
Yeah, honestly.
It was in 1969.
Yeah, it was 19. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of it took place in actually maybe
Okay,
all
but
of it.
like,
maybe
yeah,
all of
but
it.
the cops weren't like,
But basically, but that's a whole like.
they weren't like, why were you so brutal
almost
or anything?
decade
They
after
just
that
straight
thing.
like, oh, okay.
So he mashes her face, and she's pretty much done. The dog finally gets told to go away, and it goes and runs and hides with Francesca.
With Francesca.
Oh,
talk about
and that's the reason. That's the reason that the redhead chick didn't go.
Because she got punched out by Francesca.
Punched by Francesca, and then Francesca ran to the fucking room, and I'm pretty sure she called the cops.
What?
Francesca's the one who called the cops. I'm pretty sure. So then that
Probably.
that chick with the right after Cliff is done, like completely mutilating and like
Redhead.
shredding that redhead's face down to the last fucking atom. The chicken black gets up hysterical, like her face is beyond screwed. She's
Well,
got
she's
bloody marks
screaming and
everywhere,
shit too.
screaming hysterically. She fires a shot into the air and she just starts fucking running in a direction. She hits the glass to the patio out back or whatever, the pool out back. And then like that's where Leo is just chilling, oblivious to all the fuck shit that's going on
'Cause
inside.
he
He's
has
got
his
his
ear.
headphones in the radio, and then the glass breaks and she falls into the fucking water, and he's like, "Holy fucking shit!
It's like,
What the
what the
fuck's
fuck?
going
Yeah,
on?"
he's like, what the heck?
And
Like,
then
what's going
she
on?
comes back up in the water and she starts firing shots into the air.
But she's still just screaming.
Yeah, she's screaming the whole fucking time. She's like lungs off. So
He gets out of the
Cliff,
pool.
well, not Cliff, sorry. Rick, he gets out of the pool,
Get-
and you see him go into his shed. And then this motherfucker comes out with just a fucking flamethrower that was
The
mentioned.
dragon.
Yeah,
The dragon.
from one of his earlier films, he got to use a real flamethrower, and he kept it. And
You keep cutting
he
out,
just
dog.
fuck. Oh, in one of the earlier films, then Rick does. He gets to use a real flamethrower, and he keeps that prop, and he burns her to a crisp right on the top of the pool.
Oh yeah, and, like she's still screaming. Keep
Yeah,
in
she's
mind.
screaming the whole time until she finally just like her nerves give out and her mind's just like I gotta go, and then she dies right there in the pool, and that's that. And then it's just the whole explanation of explaining to the cops, and the whole time during that night they were like giving you specific times of when stuff happened, because that's presumably how the police report was
It's
given
gonna
out.
go.
Yeah,
Well, because Cliff is like supposed to give what he's like. What he say is like the
yeah,
devil shit.
yeah, something like the devil shit. And Cliff goes to
They
the
like they.
hospital, obviously being like stabbed, and Rick's like, "All right, we'll take care, buddy. And I'll go. I'll see you in the morning."
Like go, he's like, talk to your wife.
Yeah.
Like, he's go sleep with your wife.
And then fucking here comes the Polanski's. Oh, whoa, what happened, man? This is like
Wait, he's like, oh, you're Rick Dalton, right?
yeah, you're Rick Dalton. And then like, he explains what's going on, and Mr. Polanski man's like, holy fuck.
Oh,
So
are
they
you
just
okay?
invite him up to the top, being like, oh, are you okay?
Like, come have a drink,
Yeah, you want to come have a drink? Meets Margaret Robbie's character, who's pregnant at this point, and they're just like, "Oh, nice! It's so nice to finally meet you." And they go into the house together, that big ass nice house, and that's it. It's just like the end.
I mean, but like you sit there, you're kind of like his
But
whole
you're in that
acting
stunned
thing.
silence. Like, how is it like suddenly calm right after
All
that?
we've talked about as the climax.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. One of like what I thought was like one of the best characters was the little girl on the movie shoot.
She was in 2 scenes.
I know, but she
Yeah,
was
but
so
like
good.
she like roasted his ass so hard in the first
Oh,
scene.
and then she like complimented him after that, and she like cried.
No, he
No, she
cried
didn't.
from the compliment.
He
Like
cried.
he was doing the film with her. Rick was doing the film, and then after it, she goes up to him. She's like, "That's the best acting I've ever seen."
I've
And
ever seen in my life.
yeah, ever seen in my life. And he's like, "Thank you so much." And he starts fucking bawling because the day previously he fucking bombed it.
Yeah, because like he's just having all these problems or whatever.
Yeah,
Well, then he like basically threatened. He's like, listen, man, you're gonna do this. You're gonna kill yourself.
yeah. I'm gonna put a fucking bullet in your head tomorrow. Talking to himself and shit. I quit drinking, and he fucking goes for his flask.
Flask. He's like, no. He starts
No.
spitting it out.
Yeah, and he throws it out of his trailer. He came in like on a tirade and shit, but like and we're definitely downplaying it in a way. But it's
Yeah, 'cause,
definitely
like,
a
there's,
film
like-
that you have to experience for yourself as well, because I feel like your reaction is gonna be the exact same thing of just like, what the hell did I just watch? I'm glad I did. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there the whole time, and you're thinking, oh, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna try to phrase what I'm saying.
No, I know. It's apparent what you're trying to say at least. So,
Sit there like with actors like Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, like experienced actors. Of course, those movies
and they've worked on Tarantino films before.
have they?
Or at least I know for sure Brad Pitt has. He was in Inglourious Bastards.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in Shawshank or not
Yeah.
Shawshank. What the fuck?
Well, I think he was. He was in
Uh,
Shawshank, but like
I know he was, but I'm talking about what's the one with the slaves?
the Django or Django, the
Django
Yeah,
Django,
Unchained. Oh
the
yeah, he was in
Django.
Django.
Yeah,
I
he was in
forgot.
the
Django.
Django.
He was in Django. Yeah, yeah. So they've definitely worked with him before. Like a lot of the people that you see in his films are all people that have worked with
Margot
him
Robbie in
before.
anything?
I don't know about her, but I do know she's an expert in her. Like
Well, she's a good actor.
she's
I mean, that's what I'm
good
saying.
actress and she's done a lot of
Liter-
movies. Like she's been around longer
just
than I
saying, like,
thought she was.
literally all those actors that were experienced
Yeah,
actors.
and like Morgan more. Oh no, I'm racist. That's racist.
What?
I can't even remember his name. You're gonna be mad when I do. Samuel L. Jackson.
Not even in it.
No, he wasn't in it, but he's been in like a shit ton of Tarantino
He's been in a
films.
lot of Tarantino
Yeah,
movies.
he's been in a shit ton of them. A lot of his characters always are reoccurring characters.
I mean, I
Or
thought they
reoccurring
were like gonna
actors and
throw in the
actresses in
connection to
his
Pulp
films.
Fiction or something.
Yeah,
The last bit, like, I'm like, oh, are they gonna throw in a connection to Pulp Fiction? They didn't.
they
'Cause
didn't.
all the Tarantino films are connected.
Yeah. Then I guess he was
Like,
just like, I don't need to. You know it already.
I mean, I guess maybe that's the case,
It was
but
definitely a cool movie with a lot of foot fetish porn in it, and I think Pee Wee Herman would have loved to be in the theater for that movie.
Pee Wee Herman.
The
I mean,
man
you
himself.
sitting. So here's the thing, though. You sitting here on a podcast is not doing justice at all.
Yeah, I
So
don't
we're
know
just
what the
kind of
fuck you
like,
just said.
because well, sitting here like us talking about it on this podcast is not doing the movie justice at all.
No,
Because
again, like I said, it's a movie you definitely have to go out and experience for yourself.
you
Definitely
can't just.
worth the money. But that being said, now that we've explained like a lot of the movie, I mean, we could go in depth even more. But honestly, it's just gonna be a fuck fest of just like, well, they
This
said
was
this,
cool.
and then they said this, and so for verdicts, like Josh, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the movie? For
7.
7, 7 out of 10. That's solid. That's decent. Have you seen other? I'm assuming you've seen other Quentin Tarantino movies.
Most of Pulp Fiction, most of Django Unchained. What other
Django
movies?
Unchained.
Seen
Django.
Have you seen
Django.
Hateful Eight?
I haven't seen
Part
Hateful
of
Eight, but
Kill
it's on my list.
Bill. I've seen Inglorious Bastards. Still think it's overrated, but it's still good.
I actually watched it like literally for the first time like an hour and a half ago.
Inglourious
It's alright.
Bastards.
I didn't think it was amazing. It was fun. I like Brad Pitt, and I
I
liked the dude from
I'm
who
in that.
plays Magneto.
I'm in that same thing as I feel like that movie's. But
It's alright. It's not bad. I do like
yeah,
the
I
man
like.
who played I can't remember his name. The German dude who was put in charge of the French area.
It does have a connection to Pulp Fiction.
Where I didn't see it.
The Red Apple cigarettes.
Yeah,
That was that small little bit. I didn't even
but
think
it's
about
still
it.
there though.
Wow.
I
But
didn't
it's
even
still there though.
think about it.
It doesn't
My
matter.
bad.
It's
Like,
still
I didn't
like
think
that's
about
still connection.
And this is a brother moment.
This is this is a male
I didn't even
sibling
think about
moment.
that.
Okay, so you give it a 7 out of 10 in total. Is there any specific reasons for that, or is just
I mean, I just don't think it was that amazing.
mm-hmm. So that's it. Just it wasn't super that amazing. I mean, that's fine. I'm
I
just
don't think it
wondering.
stands out.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And
So for me,
Elijah, yeah, what do you give a rating on a scale of 1 to 10? What is your rating?
I'll give it an 8. Like, I know it's one above Josh's, but like it's not one of Tarantino's. It's one of Tarantino's better movies.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's one of the best. To me, that still definitely goes to Kill Bill and
Mm-hmm.
Pulp Fiction.
Okay. Well, 8 out of 10 is decent. Are there any specific reasons that put it at that point on your list on your scale?
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, let's take tropes from all the other movies I've ever made, and if I'm gonna be honest,
I suppose. I think you're
my
just kind of
house.
tired of Quentin Tarantino's style. It's
I mean,
like,
it's
fuck
not.
this
It's
dude
not.
and his fucking 5 acts nonchalant bullshit.
Well, I mean, like he literally like It was just like, oh, by the way, he goes to Italy at this point, and it becomes like you start to
No, but
think
it
it's
was,
a biog.
but
Because at that point, it starts to sound like a biography for Rick Dalton, and you're like, okay, maybe that's what it is. And then that last part, you're like, no, it's not.
well, it wasn't like he just went to Italy. Like that was already something that was mentioned and understood from the beginning of the movie. Not that he would necessarily go, but that he had that offer to go do spaghetti westerns.
When he realizes that he was a hack or whatever, or that he's being used as
Yeah,
just
he's being typecast.
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face.
And I give it an 8 out of 10 just because it kept my attention. There was enough like tension in it that
You
kept me
call
going,
keeping your
and enough,
attention an 8?
and it was definitely interesting enough. I enjoyed, I thought the acting was, pretty good. I enjoyed the story that it told, and again, like you said, Eli, not one of my favorites,
he gets to a point though. But the thing
but
is,
it is
like
good. It is
the
definitely good.
climax, that climax is probably that's like
That climax was definitely like I got through the movie and I was like, wow, this isn't like I
it felt
expected
like a
more from this
reward.
Tarantino type movie.
No, but it felt like a reward. It felt like a piece of candy.
Yeah,
You're
it
like, oh,
really was. It was like congratulations. Here's a whole shit ton
you
of what
sat
the
through my
fuck.
movie.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
if I wanted candy, I'd just go to the fucking candy bar stand, not the
I
fucking
mean, if
movie.
you're watching Tarantino, you want candy, just watch Kill Bill or watch
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Watch Kill Bill. No. Just watch Kill Bill 1 and 2, part 1 and 2.
or The Hateful Eight. Literally, that whole movie is just like you want because it's Western too.
Yeah, but no, definitely not one of my favorites. Definitely just it's a solid movie in my opinion. Definitely enjoyed it. So average, scale was 8. I'll give it like a
What's a 7?
7.6 out of 10 to put all of ours together. 7.6 out of 10. Good movie.
God.
10 out of 10.
It's a good movie.
This doesn't count as a new encounter, does it? No, it doesn't.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
So concerning that, any other comments about that movie or any other movies?
It's another to me. I'm like sitting there. I'm like, it's another one of those fast again. Like
He
here,
died again.
what?
Cut out.
Yeah, it's another one of
Oh,
those that has to.
I'm sorry. I may be because my cord's like drooping to my leg, but
Oh,
Brother moment.
sexy.
no, but like no, it's one of those movies that's like, hey, look at the past. Like let's go back to the 50s or let's go back to the 70s.
I suppose
Like
it didn't really
Miss
feel
my
like that. It didn't.
Julia.
It didn't feel like they were like, look at us in this time period. It felt like it's just in that
what?
time period.
I mean, then again, it's still it's Tarantino and he's old.
That's the excuse. I
I mean,
want to
he
go
is.
back.
He is old. You're like, you have so
Yeah,
much
then
reverb,
Tarantino's
Chris.
got like some like attitude, understandably, but like being who he is. But sometimes it's like, come on, man. Can't
What
be
he's known
nice.
for is like bloody movies, and in my opinion, like this was probably one of his bloody movies.
Nah, yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Have you seen like
what I
because
was
if you
found,
watch Hateful Eight, like she's vomiting blood in that last scene.
yeah.
Like it's just straight.
What's funny is, I found out that in Inglorious Bastards, the scene where
They actually shot Hitler.
they shot the shit
I
out
mean,
of
that's
Hitler,
ambitious.
they
That's ambitious
they
stuff right
gang
there.
ganged him.
Physically shot Hitler. That was Hitler's actual body.
They shot the dead body of Hitler. No, but
I don't know how
during the
they did
scene
that.
where I think his name's like Hans something starts with an L A and
The war hero?
no the Nazi guy,
There are like 75% of the cast is Nazis, buddy.
the main
Yeah.
one whose name I can't remember right now.
One who's part of like the
The one who was,
French or whatever.
yeah, the one who was put in France for the specific purpose of hunting down Jews in the area that were being missed. Basically, during the scene where he finds out that one of the chicks is an American spy, during the movie theater sequence act, he goes to choke her out, but during the close-up scene where you can see just her face, her choking in the hands, that's actually Quentin Tarantino's hands. He was be
Choking the
like
actress.
apparently like yeah
I
no.
guess he doesn't only have a foot fetish.
And it was because like the importance of the scene and what his specific vision was, he wanted to do it himself. And the
Just to
worst
make
part
sure it
is
was.
that he didn't realize it, but he was actually choking her out. Like when you hear her choking, it's like she's actually can't fucking breathe. Like the face you see, that's 100% real. She's fucking losing
She's
consciousness.
fucking dead.
She's George.
George fucking
I mean,
died.
George Loki died.
I mean, we went saw. Let's talk about some of the trailers, like that.
There's some good movies coming up.
Yeah,
I
there's nothing
mean,
really all that special.
Mr. Rogers has a
Mr.
documentary
Dude.
coming out.
That is Tom. Dude, they picked the worst actor to fucking play.
I'm pretty sure Tom Hanks is directing it.
I think
give a
Tom
damn.
Hanks was he fits the role fine.
Well, he
can-
doesn't.
his
You do
voice
not cast
is-
a bulky ass man like Tom Hanks. He can play frail ass Mr. Rogers.
He has the voice for it, in my opinion.
Yeah. But no, hey, I think Tom Hanks is fine as Mr. Rogers, but I'm not exactly excited for that movie. We live in a society.
It's one of those kind of movies, dog.
Basically. No, the only trailer I'm interested in is the fucking Modern Warfare trailers that have been coming out.
Which one you cut out?
The Modern Warfare trailers that are coming out. That's the only trailers I'm interested in.
Of course you are.
Okay, just because you play like Battlefield, because you long for bullet drop love, doesn't mean anything.
Bruh, I didn't say I wasn't. I was like, okay.
Like, I don't really play. Like, we move from movies to game. I mean, I don't play a lot of shooters anyway. I play Halo.
Halo Infinite. I bet you there's gonna be a battle royale.
Brother moment.
There's gonna be a battle royale.
Here's what I think. I think the battle royale is dying. Like that genre.
Yeet. I think it's gonna go on for much longer. I think
I
Gears
think
of
it's
War is gonna
dying.
do it too.
Like, don't you agree, Josh? Do you think it's dying?
Yeah, it is. It's already dead.
I don't think so. I think especially since they just let a kid
He's
earn
already
3 million on a
dead.
fucking battle royale tournament.
That's
But
not
It's
because
not even a high prize pool for the gaming.
It is because it's more than the Dota teams make.
No, it's not. What do you
Individually,
what are you
yes,
talking
you
about?
make more as a team.
No,
but
they're
when it's
not.
split, yes, it
No,
is.
it's not.
Yes, it is because 30
Dude,
million
no,
split
it is
between
not.
all the teams that place, split between each individual
It's
player
not
is
split
less than 3
evenly.
million.
It's
It's
not
done. It's
split
not.
evenly.
It's not split evenly. The earnings are still distributed. Whatever third, second, first, whatever placement whatever placements you get determines your earnings. But even if you distribute it at like say like the earnings are split, say
Dude, the first place team like got $11 million. Like
it just
split.
depends. Like okay, here's the thing though. Like
individually,
talking
they
about
will not make 3 million each.
talking about esports is kind of like it's kind of like
When
like
the whole
pulling
pool is
teeth.
split between the competing
like
teams,
pulling teeth,
even
dog.
even not evenly, you will not make 3 million each individually on that team.
Even not evenly.
I mean,
Even with it being unevenly
like
distributed
okay.
for obvious reasons.
The
of
one
placement.
thing I'll agree with Josh is that like MOBAs have probably the highest prize pool. Like
They
most
do.
of
They
genres.
do. They have the highest
But,
price pool, but individually they're
like-
not going to be making as much.
like what?
Because it's a team sport.
League of
Okay.
Legends. Yeah, like it's
I'm not disputing that, but they're also
But
just.
it's like it's a different standard. You can't compare them then.
Yes, I can. It's money.
No, you can't because it's a team sport compared to a solo sport.
That
Okay,
is
and regardless, team sport or not, my statement,
No,
what
because
I'm
it's a different
saying is
standard.
that kid made more than each individual person on those teams. That was the statement, and that you can compare because that's monetary gain.
No, you can't.
Yes,
It's a
you can.
different type of standard.
Standard or not, my statement isn't about the standard of the type of
Okay,
game
if five
it is.
people got that first place like team, that kid would not be making the same amount.
Wait, oh yeah, no, he wouldn't, and then I wouldn't be making the statement. I
Bro,
wouldn't be
what
saying
Josh,
that.
I think
but
what
I
Josh
am
was trying to
because-
say is like can't compare one kid winning 3 million to people winning a game. That's all he's saying. He's not saying like Not saying what you're.
You can't
I think
compare the standard. I agree 100% with that because it is a different standard and it is a different style of game. But monetarily, he made
And
more
this
money
year,
than each of those people
this year they're
individually.
gonna make more money. This
Monetarily,
year they're gonna make more money. Last year, no. This year they're gonna make more money.
the prize pool this year is 30 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
This year they are gonna do it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, they are because last year the top team got 11 million, split by 5. It's 2 million each. This year is gonna
What
be
was the
higher.
prize
First
pool
place
last
is gonna
year?
make more money. Last year it was like 24 grand or 24 million.
I was gonna say,
This
what the
year,
fuck happened
right,
that it went to
right
30
now,
million from 24 grand?
but right now it's 30 million and it's still going.
Maybe. I mean, well, is it the same? Okay, is it like the same core of teams that are still competing?
It's no matter what, it's gonna be like it's only gonna be distributed to like the top, like 10 places.
Yeah.
But like,
So well then maybe yeah, you're probably right that they'll monetarily make more than that kid individually.
I mean,
this
it's
year.
still a big deal considering it's Fortnite. That's why it's a big deal.
That
Because it's
that's the only reason I
Fortnite.
make this statement because I was
also
like, what the
Epic,
hell? How did this kid make
Epic
3 million
contributed
from
the
Fortnite?
majority to that.
They did. That is true.
I'm sorry.
Epic like contributed
A lot of money to
majority.
that.
That's true, but regardless of who contributed what, that he still made that much money. He still made X amount of money.
I mean, that kid's not getting like
The
a
same
dime,
way,
though.
the same way,
Parents are
like
probably taking all of it.
the same way most of the money that Ninja's getting from switching over from Mixer is coming from Microsoft and them.
Oh yeah, it's specifically
And-
from
Oh yeah,
Microsoft, dude.
no, and it's they're doing in order to maximize the money that they're being able to earn and give to him. They're cutting off Sparks, which is basically like a way to monetarily gain money without donations. It's sort of
That
like,
contract is high, dude.
oh yeah, I know. And
that
every time I
contract,
see a
it's like-
meme, the number gets larger and larger.
Oh yeah, like I saw one that was like $1 billion. I'm like, it's not $1 billion. I think it was quoted at like $9 million.
Yeah, like he's making for sure 3 to 6 for sure for the next 3 years minimum.
I thought it was 6 years.
3 years minimum, but he's going to be playing the
Okay.
other 3 years. But whatever money he'll make for those next 3 years is still negotiable.
All I'm saying is it's pushing a, honestly, not like a half decent streaming platform.
No, well, I mean, it was at the forefront of a lot of things. Like Sparks, for example, was the first of its kind, or
I mean, because
specifically,
I-
because you have cheers and whatnot in Twitch, but Sparks works
Fundament-
different in the way that you really are generating your own income, and you can
Yeah,
get
but
Sparks without paying money or anything. You can get it from just watching a stream, and you can get that, and then you can donate it, and then a percentage of that, the monetary gain it has, goes to the streamer.
fundamentally though, Twitch ends up working better. Like I mean, like
Oh yeah, no, that I agree with that. No, but yeah, the only thing I was saying with my statement with Fortnite and the earnings for that was that monetarily he made specifically
made
more
quite a bit.
than
He made a lot,
monetarily
But his
than
parents
those
are getting
Dota
the
teams.
majority of that.
Yeah, probably.
Most
16-year-old, because yeah, he's 16.
Yeah, but again, he made more monetarily than those Dota teams individually. But with the prize pool being 30 million, yeah, in all likelihood, or not even all likelihood, they'll be making more than that individually, more than 3 million.
I mean, here's the thing though. See, what this kid has is a chance to like start a streaming career or something like that. He has a name now.
No, he's not gonna. Make
He's
it.
not going to. He's literally
could.
made $3 million,
He
dude.
couldn't.
He'll just play yearly, and
I just feel
participate
like
in tournaments to just make money off it. He doesn't need to stream.
I feel like it would be an opportunity for more money.
It could,
Not
but
wrong.
he's a 16-year-old
The
kid.
money.
He has other shit preoccupying him.
Like, am I wrong? Am my point invalid?
Yes.
It's not invalid
mean,
in the
like,
fact
why-
that it is an opportunity for him to do it, but he's not going to.
He's 16.
Like a 0.01% chance.
I don't know. Yeah, honestly, because it's just not something he's gonna do. He's just not going to.
Dude, I will
GG.
swing at the 16-year-old.
And if he does, good on him. He's smart. And that's what
I
I,
don't know.
think.
There's the exposure you get from it is not all it's cracked up to be.
I mean,
I mean, you make decent.
he's
gains
literally
money.
on the. He's been on the news, like just straight news for winning $3 million. at a Fortnite
Dude, most
competition.
Twitch streamers can end up on the news. Freaking
Ninja
Tyler
did.
1 can end up on the news. And he has ended up on the news.
Okay.
So just because you're on the news doesn't mean you've made
Well,
it
I mean,
big.
people like, like my dad was the one who told me about it.
My dad was on the news. No.
no, my dad was the one who told me about it, and I was like, like that's crazy.
Well, gamers are now no longer oppressed.
In the most
Gamer
oppressed,
culture.
yeah, the most oppressed culture or race of all, gamers. That was a good. That was fun. Hey guys, Overwatch. Fucking Lucio Ball is back.
What the fuck is an Overwatch?
I
I
actually
played
love
it for
Lucio Ball.
probably.
It's the only game mode I really play in Overwatch at all. I only play during the
Overwatch is
summer when
fucking
Lucio Ball's
dead.
around because it's just fun.
It's Overwatch is more dead than George is.
Honestly.
Like, because kind of everyone just stopped playing it all at once.
I still got esports and they still make decent money, but they ain't making Fortnite money apparently.
Clearly not. Even though Blizzard, but Blizzard's a cheap fuck too.
Well, yeah, and Blizzard was doing so well, but that's something we've discussed before and something that doesn't need to go into too much detail.
But I'm absolutely serious. Like, Blizzard is cheap. They are always that way.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? The thing I always found funny about complaining about companies like that, people complain about EA and Microsoft, and then
They're still
those
making money,
yeah,
dog.
of course there's making money because people not everybody hates it, but like there's so much hate for it, right? And then these games still end up being top selling because you're talking out of your ass. You know you're still gonna buy the game, and you know you're still gonna buy those pay to win packs, and you know you're gonna pretend like you enjoy the game the same way you did last time.
You pretend to hate the game.
Yeah, you pretend to hate the game, but you're still
Enjoy
doing
it.
the same way. Like a lot of people hated on MK10 for having a lot of fully playable characters in the campaign, or like a lot of players that had like full move sets and were fully playable, but you couldn't play them in multiplayer, and they came out as DLCs. Like,
I mean,
but
I
then they
think.
still bought those DLCs.
I mean, yeah, it's like with me and Kingdom Hearts, where I'm like, oh, I've been waiting for a decade for the game. DLC.
Yeah.
I'm probably still gonna buy it.
Yeah, but I just didn't care that much about Kingdom Hearts 3. I was like, cool, I'll play it. I mean, I'm playing it. I literally.
Dude, the trailer didn't even have like proper audio.
It was sad. It was so sad.
Yeah, you can't. People were. You can't. Once a series is dead for that long, maybe
Yeah, but there was a lot of
it's
hype
okay
behind
to
it.
but
Still,
maybe it's okay to let it stay that way
there was still
because
a lot of hype
you will
behind it,
always
though.
exactly hype that was hype versus expectation. The hype was not met at all. And again, like you said, like something being held off for that long, it'll never meet your expectations. So once it gets to that point and you have that much behind it, sometimes maybe it's a better decision to leave it how it is and just let people have that whimsical what if.
From there,
I'd rather
yeah,
people have
but
that whimsical what if and think, wow, that game would have been amazing versus, oh my God, we're finally getting it. This game is nothing that I wanted and now I don't like it as much and it tarnishes the name.
that's a Valve thing right there. That's how they're thinking. That's why they
No,
haven't
no, no,
really.
no. Valve just is allergic to the number 3. Like they had plenty of opportunities beforehand to do it, but they just don't. Like it's getting to the point where like if they ever release a Portal 3, it's not going
But
to be as good.
they did try to make it. The writer didn't like the way it was going.
Yeah. Wait, for Half-Life 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one just fell through. It got stuck in developer hell after a while too.
And that always happens.
But
I
other
don't know what
stuff
it
like
is.
Portal, they just don't have the fucking will to go through with.
Joshua died.
Oh my gosh, sucks, man.
But yeah, shit happens. But what
By the way,
companies?
well, this is Josh. What were you saying, Chris?
Companies that are killing it right now, like that are doing well.
No company's doing very well today.
Yeah, like right now, there's not like a big major. Honestly, what maybe
There's
doing.
games that have like hype behind them that are
I mean,
more
Mojang
above.
got
Oh
big
yeah,
again.
Mojang. Oh yeah, it's actually fucking true. Mojang is killing it. Mojang is killing it. I want to see Mojang
Minecraft got
Esports,
big
boys. I
again.
want to see
They're not really
Minecraft
doing
Esports.
anything to do with that.
I want to see Minecraft Esports. That could make some serious though.
No.
No, it
I think it
wouldn't.
could. I think it would. I gotta
Well,
disagree.
because
I think it would
you're
make
not gonna
huge
see
fucking
you're not
money.
gonna see Mojang say, okay, here we let's put some money in some Minecraft tournaments.
Oh, it wouldn't happen, but I'm saying if they did, I think they would make some like the esports, contenders, the players that are involved would make some serious dough. I think with the community it has and the people
We
that
love
play it.
Fortnite. We love Fortnite.
I mean, Fortnite's being pushed into a corner right now.
Oh yeah,
My opinion.
Mhm.
It's being pushed into a corner
but
of this game's not that
it's been
good.
supposedly pushed into a corner by like a shit ton of other games now. Most notably like Apex. Just Apex.
Apex
Just
tried
Apex.
and then it died.
Yeah, Apex tried, and then
Right.
people still play it, but it's like no one gives a
Minecraft
fuck. Like I played it for like the first month of it being out, and I was like, "There's nothing special." It's literally Titanfall. It's made by the
I
same
feel
people,
like
understandably, but
I just sit over here playing the same game over and over again. So
it's getting to the point where I'm going back and playing old games just because there's nothing interesting new now.
well, that's not necessarily the thing either. I find more.
Even
And I
like
know that's
even like games that are old and supposed to be good, I've started to find less fulfilling.
because they're old.
I
like
suppose
I'm
no,
like
no, but I
I
mean
hate to
like
say it,
games
the
like
relevancy.
Skyrim, you start to notice the what the fucks, and that isn't really have to do with it just not suddenly me realizing how bad it is. It's more like just you play it enough times that you become accustomed to certain things, and you start to notice when the game's not working how it should, and things like that. Just irritations that ruin the experience because you've played the game in
It's like
segments too much.
it's okay. It's like this. I played Sonic Mania. I played all through it. I loved it. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back and I played through the original Sonic games.
Yeah.
My gosh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like I got to like Lava Reef Zone and I can't do this. Like it's so
That's like
it's so slow. Like it's weird to say that a Sonic game is slow.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna hook up my game or my GameCube, yeah, and I'm gonna play the Wind Waker, Legend
Sunshine.
of Zelda. I'm gonna play Sunshine too, but I'm gonna play Wind Waker
Literally,
first,
like
and I hope
I
that
want to
game
get
is
Wind.
as good as I remember it.
Just get Wind Waker. Like if you had a Wii U, get Wind Waker there. That's what I'm saying.
At this
It's
point,
like
if I
the
get a Wii
HD
U,
remake.
I'm buying a dead console. The last game's already been announced for it.
Well, the GameCube's been dead for a long time.
Yeah, but the GameCube has games that will never be replaced. Whereas
Except when
Wii
they
U, a
port
lot
them
of their
over to
games were
Switch.
able to be played aside from the Mario platforms. Honestly, a lot of
Except when you port them to Switch, which is honestly about to happen.
I mean that, yeah, would be pretty cool, but until it does,
I don't know. I just like there's a lot of old games. Like people still play Skyrim and all of those taken so
Have
long
you seen the
because
meme
of the
where the Todd, whatever his name is, Todd Howard, I think, the whatever major player involved in Skyrim and Elder Scrolls in general, Bethesda, he sold the game to his own son, like straight up got his kid to buy it.
I don't think he actually sold it to him. I think he just straight up gave it.
No, like he had his kid buy it. Like he was like, maybe he's old enough to like it now, and then his kid went out and bought it. He was like, so do you like it? Although, I guess it wouldn't really matter much because it's not like Skyrim costs a whole lot anymore.
you know how many like honestly like I think the meme for Bethesda right now is, hey, are we gonna port it again?
The meme for Bethesda is, are we going to come out with a decent game anytime soon?
See, the problem is they got stuck with it. Like I was a big like I fought for I argued for
shit.
76 for a
You
long
made me
time.
fucking buy it.
We can still play it if you want, dog.
It's a boring ass game.
It's one of those games that I could like. It's just it's its own thing. You have
No,
to-
it's fucking boring.
Life Life is full of mysteries.
They just released a big patch for it anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for them to come up with a fucking good game. Fallout 4 was alright. I enjoyed Fallout 4, but, you know, there was a lot of missed potential.
People are like, let's just re-release New Vegas.
And it does, yeah. If they do that, they're gonna
can't.
People will be
remaster it, and
happy.
they're gonna butcher it. They're gonna like try to
can't.
do some
They
new
literally
age, new
can't.
system shit.
Why
They can't
not?
re-release it because Obsidian owns it.
Oh
But
gosh.
the
What do you mean,
rights
oh
are owned
gosh?
by Bethesda.
I
They have
mean,
every right to do
Are they
that.
ever gonna access it? You can't.
They could do it. They have the rights under for the game
Like
shares.
Oblivion's never gonna get remade or released with new
Uh,
graphic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm disappointed in Elder Scrolls Online. Like I expected something different.
I actually think it has a decent following and it's a successful game. But I've never been into MMOs like that. That's why I've never played games like World of Warcraft and shit. It just wasn't my taste. But I think it was a successful endeavor. But they did default to fucking everybody likes dragons. Please buy our game in the Dragon DLC. And they released what is it? Morrowind is a whole ass another game, but it literally is. It's just Elder Scrolls. It even connects to the
It's an
same
expansion.
servers. Yeah, it's just an expansion.
It's like what's it called? It's like World of Warcraft. They treated it
Yeah,
like
at
World of
least,
Warcraft.
but World of Warcraft was like, we're gonna release the fucking vanilla original version back for you to play, which is drastically different than what it is now.
Clearly. There's no point in playing the old one though. Like, what is the point of playing the old
I
one?
don't know,
Better
nostalgia,
writing, better. People say it's a
nostalgia,
better game.
less complicated, and you know it's a lot. But
It's an ever-evolving game. So
yeah,
it's gonna change like that.
no, the
Like
vanilla version will
Minecraft.
likely stay how it is, and it'll be in its little section. It's literally just a fan service for the most part.
I had to dip on that encounter and I'm upset about it, Josh.
You couldn't even get one on that. It's not a new route.
It doesn't matter anyway. I almost got murked by a swine with powder snow.
But can you hear that, by the way? Is that fan like
What?
really loud?
Yeah.
Is it?
You like have echo. I don't know why you have such like reverb.
That's probably because I have my fan on. Let me fix that. But sorry, laying down on my bed. I I think outside of Mojang, because Mojang is doing pretty well. To no like fault of their own, it's not something they've been doing. It's just the market's picked back up. I don't know of any game companies that are just taking the cake right now. Maybe Call of Duty because they scrapped their whole engine, but that'll
They're
have to
not going to.
we'll have
I
to
don't think
wait
they're
when the
gonna
game
do
comes
all
out.
that.
What'd you say?
I don't think they're gonna do anything special.
Well, the gameplay is drastically different.
I don't say drastically.
Okay, wait. Maybe not gameplay, because again, it's just how you play Call of Duty, but animation and whatnot is definitely substantially different. Play style is kind of different. And I think it's changed for the better, honestly. I think it's way for them to distance themselves
Themselves
from the
what?
reputation of
From their own stuff.
yeah, dude. They've literally had like failure after failure. Like Infinite Warfare was like the
They've
shittiest
only
of all
been
the Call of
failures
Duties.
because fucking they got failures for the wrong reasons.
Why do you think that? I mean, I honestly I gave each game a shot, and I thought Infinite Warfare was just a fucking shit game.
Because they did what their fans wanted, which they said for like 3 games in a row, which was like, oh, give us something else besides shooting. You straight like boring old Call of Duty, and then they gave it to them, which is a modern or like a future game, and then they were like, ooga booga, change is bad, give back old COD.
No, well,
That is
not
true. That
initially.
is
Like Advanced
absolutely true.
Warfare was fine.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Like the most of the community was
Rip Elijah.
Yeah, Rip Elijah. Most of the community was.
But like most of the community initially was like, "Ooh, give us bigger maps and lower health,"
Yeah.
and then they did that, and people didn't like ghosts, and then they were
Yeah,
like,
that did make me mad
we
because
want
I
something
actually did.
besides
I
modern
thoroughly enjoyed
shooters.
Ghosts.
and I enjoyed the story. The
We want
campaign was
something
great.
besides modern shooters. They give something that isn't a modern shooter, and they're like, "Ooga booga, bad game."
Give
I thought
us fucking
campaign was
bigger
good.
maps because we can't go play Battlefield. But yeah, no, the fan base definitely has a tendency to go back on itself.
Tendency. It's like a straight up thing
It's
they
like,
always do.
literally, it's a fact, dude.
Battle tendency. Yeah, no, because the people will end up complaining about Modern Warfare too. They're like, "Oh, just go back to futuristic. You're ruining the old stuff."
That's what they did with COD 4.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think other games like Black Ops 4 is fun enough. It's got enough going for it that it's just fun. But
Enough going for it. Lol.
but yeah, games like Advanced Warfare, like those were that like, Advanced Warfare was fun. Um, Infinite Warfare was like, oh no, not Black Ops 3 was like, all right, you're kind of pushing it.
All right, about to head out.
Yeah, I about to have Infinite Warfare was like, okay, now it's time to fucking stop. And then what game did oh yeah, they pulled out World War II because they were like, okay, okay, look, see, no more.
And then the fans were like, "Ooga booga."
What are you doing? I thought it was fun.
The game's unbalanced, even though they love games that are unbalanced, like MW2 and World at War.
Hmm. But that, and then Black Ops 4 was released, and that was just, it wasn't terrible. And the game, in my opinion, steadily got better as it went along. And then there's, Modern Warfare now, and I guess we'll have to see when it comes out what people's reaction will be to it.
Most likely gonna be bad.
I have high hopes for the game.
High
Not
likelihood
super
that it's
high, because again, Call of Duty, but I definitely think the game's going to be fun. And I think you'll only complain if you're a hater.
All right, bro.
Oh, I better head out.
What? Horsey knows Dragon Rage.
But yeah, fun, fun, fun. Good time. So, I actually think that was some decent shit that we got in there. And really, we only talked about like 3 topics in the span of the time.
Yep.
That was actually pretty, okay, cool. Well, I suppose, and that's pretty much the end of it. This one was a little shorter than episode 2, but longer again than episode 1 was. Thank you guys very much again for the love and support that I've seen in terms of like views alone, and then responses I get from just messages on Instagram, and the whole shebang, like, everything in general. Like, thank you guys so much for the love and support. I appreciate it. Especially as a not new, basically new creator.
Fucking new kid.
I appreciate
that's
that.
me. I've even I've sitting here on
He died again.
here. Like I'm literally sitting here on the I'm oh my gosh, bothering me. I've been sitting on footage for probably a couple days now. Heavy. And I'm like, I should edit this down. I'm like, this is
But again, thank you guys for the love and support. I do appreciate it. Every view is definitely a good sign for me. And even one like is appreciated. But even just dropping by, like, not even, it doesn't have to be about likes or anything, though, although those are appreciated. Just even clicking on the video and being semi-interested, I appreciate you for dropping on by. And if you've made it to this point, I hope you've enjoyed. Um, if you have any comments on anything we've said or any suggestions for anything that we should talk about in the future on this podcast, definitely put those in the comments below. Again, subscribe if you like the content and you'd like to see more. I definitely hope to be working on some other stuff outside of podcasts very soon. And hit the
I was gonna say.
hit the notification bell, because I can be pretty lax about schedule, even though I try to hold myself to it. That way, you just know whenever I'm uploading, and you can follow me down below, because I'm always putting up updates on when I'm going to be uploading, and the process. So if you're definitely interested in seeing that kind of stuff, or even just my personal life in general, or whatever, see what I'm doing in my life, whatever that may be, definitely check me out and check out Josh and Elijah and Elijah's YouTube as well. Make sure to check that all out.
SpiralSoldier.
Yes, SpiralSoldier. Uh, Again, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the love, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for stopping by.